What's going on, folks? Wolf Manga here, back at you with another new manga video. And in today's video, what I have in store for you is going to be my monthly manga read / manga reading log video for the months of November and December. I skipped the November monthly manga reads video, unfortunately. Didn't have the time and was busy during that portion because of finals and everything. So we're going to be covering those reads in this video. So today, we don't have an extensive amount of manga, but we have some really notable and noteworthy titles to talk about here. Things like Vinland Saga and stuff like that. Of course, you guys already know I love Vinland Saga. But before we go ahead and get started, if you haven't already done so, please make sure to follow me on all my other social media platforms, including Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And in particular, TikTok is where I'm the most active in terms of my anime / manga content. And on top of that, if you are interested in buying manga from Right Stuff Anime today, then please go ahead and use my affiliate link down below in the description. At no extra cost to you, you'll help support the channel as I continue to grow my page and content. With that said, I just wanted to say that Right Stuff is literally goated with their packaging, with their quality of manga volumes. So you're definitely going to get your bang for your buck when you buy from Right Stuff Anime. So that's it, guys. Enough chit chat, and let's delve right into today's manga reads video. All right, folks, so the first series we're talking about today needs absolutely no introduction, and that is going to be Goatland Saga. So here I read books 10 and 11, and holy freaking smokes, guys, this was no exception to the Goatland part. I mean, what can I say? These volumes had it all, from romantic subtleties, epic action sequences, fantastic artwork, really intriguing thematic explorations into, you know, political structures, political power vacuums. Politics is what I'm trying to say. And I think the character development and just the general story development thus far is so fantastic with the series. If you guys haven't already picked up Vinland Saga, if you haven't started this, it's such a good series. I would regard it as one of my top 3 manga series right now. And in these particular volumes, there's so many things to talk about. These 2 volumes alone are really immaculate. This guy right here, Garm, he's introduced as a really cool character, and the way I kind of perceived it, he kind of almost parallels, you know, kind of Thorkel's mentality in terms of fighting, in terms of warfare. And both of these kind of characters, the way I see it, they embody the most primitive part of us when it comes to warfare, the most primitive part of us when it comes to violence and stuff like that. And in particular, Book 11, the level of intensity that Book 11 brought to the forefront was absolutely impeccable. You know, somebody commented on my video that it wouldn't be a Wolf manga video without me saying impeccable. You know, obviously by this point in Book 11, you know, Thorfinn is trying to change the path his life follows, you know, because when he was young, he was this very violent and primitive type of character. But in finding out certain developments regarding, you know, his father's death, regarding, you know, these political schemes and whatnot, his newfound philosophy, ideology, and perspective on life is exceedingly challenged. And so I think it's really amazing to see, you know, the kind of fortitude that Thorfinn has developed over the course of his life thus far. He's still young, you know, I forgot the age exactly, but by now I don't think he's a teenager. I think he's in his 20s maybe. Also, the romantic developments, guys. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm absolutely loving the direction that this manga is going right now. Really excited. I think I have my 12th book on the way in the mail right now. I'm going to immediately read it once I get it. Anyways, guys, if you haven't already done so, you know, this is no surprise. You guys need to read Vinland Saga, one of my favorite series of all time. Highly recommend, an S-tier manga in and of itself. Alrighty, folks, and this next series I'm talking about today is no surprise to the channel. I've been talking about it for the last few videos, last couple of months, I think. And that's going to be To Your Eternity by Yoshitoki Uema, volumes 2 and 3. I think I'm actually up to volume 4 or 5 right now, although in the months of November and December, it was simply just 2 and 3. But with that said, guys, I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to get too deep into this. You know, to be quite honest, this is not a series that you read for, you know, intense artwork or, you know, cool action scenes and sequences and stuff like that. It's more of an emotionally invested manga. You know, the artwork is rather simple, similar to A Silent Voice. It's the same mangaka, so, you know, same art style. But if you are wanting to get into your feels a little bit, I definitely recommend checking this out. I think like the second volume squeezed just a little tear out of me. You know, I'm not bawling my eyes out reading this stuff, but it did get me emotionally invested in the characters. And that's one thing to note about Yoshitoki Uema's writing, is that she's able to really help you get attached to characters in her stories. And that's what I really love about the way she makes manga. Not going to go much deeper into this, as I've already talked about this multiple times, but I definitely recommend it if you like Yoshitoki Oima works or emotionally invested manga and stuff like that. So with that said, guys, let's move on to the next series, which I'm really eager to start talking about on this channel. All right, Wolfpack, and the next manga we have today is a really, really impressive one, not necessarily for its intensity, but rather for its character complexity and depth. And that is going to be Blue Period Volume 1. This series, at least from first impressions from this first volume, as if this is all that I've read so far, this series is layered, absolutely layered in profundity and relatability, especially for someone like me who is a student myself, just like the main character. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, this is a more or less coming of age school drama seinen series about a high school student who, he gets very good grades. He does exceptional in all his classes, but basically he lives his life to fulfill quotas, i.e. get things done, take care of business. He just kind of completes things for the sake of completing things. But the downside, or rather the trade-off of this, is that he ultimately leads a life of emptiness. And later on, when he discovers the world of art, he slowly and surely fills his heart with color. He is able to discover artistic and emotional expression. He is able to develop passion, which is something he was formerly unable to do. And more or less, he finds a raison d'etre for himself. And so personally, I thought this first volume alone was absolutely brilliant. There were so many different points in this particular volume that struck me as really relatable. But to be perfectly honest, if you read anything that's kind of quick-paced or action-heavy, like a battle shonen, for example, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if that's your cup of tea, then this is likely not the manga for you, as it is pretty text-heavy and it can be a bit slow at certain points. But if you do appreciate any kind of coming-of-age, slice of life, drama, or school-related manga, then this is a definite must-read. This is one of those manga series that really, really make you kind of do some introspection, really look at yourself deeply and kind of reevaluate the way you live your life. So that's that, guys. Let's move on to our final series for today. Alrighty, folks, and today's final series that I'm going to be talking about is going to be by the same mangaka of Goodnight Punpun, and that is going to be INIO Asano's Seinen. Now, I don't really want to call this a one-shot because it's actually 2 volumes within this little omnibus, if you will, if you want to call it that. So it's a very quick read. You can finish it in a day or two. So basically, this is kind of like a coming-of-age seinen drama. That's how I would describe it personally. And so this is essentially about a circle of friends who are pretty much struggling to find themselves in the adult world now that they've reached their mid-20s. Back in their college days and their peak, if you will, they were very optimistic, they were very hopeful, and as a group of friends, they even forged a band, which was their kind of stress outlet. It was something they were very passionate about, a passionate hobby kind of thing. But now at this point in their lives, they're rapidly realizing that the adult world isn't what it's all cracked up to be. And so now they're working these unsatisfying jobs, they feel empty, and they're essentially plagued by unfulfilled dreams and misgivings about themselves as well as their futures. And so the story is predominantly centered on her perspective, but I will note that all the friends within this group of friends are very important to the story and to the point of the manga, as each of them kind of represents a different way of managing, coping with, and dealing with that really difficult transition from adolescence to adulthood. So I would definitely pay attention to the varying perspectives and really see if you can relate to any one of those. I know I could see myself in a couple of characters as someone who's also in that kind of difficult transition right now, going to college, working, and trying to find a career path for myself. And so I want to ask you guys, what is true happiness to you? What does adulthood mean to you? Is there an achievable intersection between these, or in life, is it simply one or the other? And if you've ever thought about things like this before, or you're a young adult like myself, I would definitely recommend reading this manga. Number one, it's just like one omnibus volume, so you're not investing that much money into it. It's not a massive series. And number two, it's gonna really get you thinking about yourself and your life. And I think there's so much value in manga series like that really, really make you think about your life and really invoke introspection. And when you couple these themes and execution with stunning background artwork to boot, then quite frankly, you have yourself an impeccable INIO Asano work. Alrighty, folks, and that pretty much wraps up today's manga reads video. I certainly hope you did enjoy this one. And if you have any manga recommendations for me, please go ahead, comment those down below. I'm eager to hear what you guys think I might like. And who knows, maybe I'll take you up on one of those recommendations and, it might become my new favorite manga series in the future. So, but with that said, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did happen to enjoy this one, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on TikTok. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
となく届いたりした